From the nosebleeds to the studio, I am your host, LJ, and we are back again a little later than I anticipated from the last episode. But as you can imagine, there has been a lot going down lately. So definitely excited to get into talk about that. So, all right. So we got Trey 2K back today again. What's good, my dog?
What's up, my guy? How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. As you can see, I see you're seem
You
to
know
be a
I'm doing
happy,
good. You know I'm doing phenomenal.
happy Lakers fan today. All right, you amongst many seems like. Obviously, we're going to get into that. Today's episode, pretty much, we're going to get into all this latest trade deadline news. Uh, One that just kind of popped off about 30 minutes to an hour ago. I was actually taking a little bit of a nap, so woke up to what I thought was going to be the biggest news of the trade deadline.
Yes,
Come to find out,
that is an understatement. I definitely thought Jimmy getting moved was going to be the biggest trade we were going to see. So
without a shadow of a doubt. With that being said, I mean, we might as well get started on that. Man, so mentioned Jimmy Butler. Like I said, I definitely thought this was going to be the biggest trade of the deadline. Little did I expect, as you see on your background over there, for Mr. Luca. But I do want to,
you
like I
got
said,
Luka.
we'll get there eventually. Save that for the main event, I guess we could say. But yeah, like I said, I want to start with the Jimmy Butler trade. So after reports came out earlier today that he was refusing to sign a long-term extension with the Warriors, which I found kind of like Jimmy, why you keep shooting yourself in the foot? Like you really don't got many options.
Honestly,
Like I read that and I was like, really, bro? Like, come on. And then
I read that and I thought Jimmy was going to be out the league in the next couple of years
yeah,
because I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Because
honestly,
you said anyone but the Heat. But it's like,
exactly.
oh, you could go to the Grizzlies. Oh no, not there. Yeah, you go to the Warriors. Yeah, not there. I'm not going to sign an extension. Oh yeah, so it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. Make up your mind, dog. Be honest. Like I said, I just think the negative thing that's gonna come from this is like now these owners have more incentive on the next deal to be like, all right, let's take let's take power, a little bit more power away from you guys. Like, all right, it might start trying to squeeze in non-guaranteed deals and stuff like that, or do like they did with
Yeah.
Zion and have contingencies to where okay, you gotta meet a lot of these thresholds, which is more not that a lot of these contracts didn't have already kind of
Like
contingencies,
parameters, yeah.
yeah, hurdles that they had to hit, but still
Mhm.
not to that Zion level, which is why it got reported. And then like for example, Kyler Murray's in the NFL where they're like, oh, can't be playing Call of Duty and shit like that. It's like, nah, like we don't want to get to that point because we're just
Wait, is that what's going? What? That's a whole
yeah,
nother.
yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, they essentially they put it in like he can't be caught, like he can't be like playing video games all the time and whatnot
Mhm.
because gets
Yeah, and
involved with
you
and
gotta put
whatnot.
your work in.
Yeah, exactly. But regardless, so like we mentioned, so Jimmy against his wishes, I would say, I guess, got moved got moved to the
Well,
Warriors.
I would say definitely to his wishes because I don't know if you've seen shortly after, but he signed the extension with them as well.
Exactly.
So, so
So
I think honestly, yeah. Like
I
with
think it
that
was
being
kind of playing.
said, it's like
I think it was kind of playing hardball. Like, all right, like let's just
exactly.
trying to get to Phoenix,
I
but if I
think he's trying
can't,
to get to Phoenix. Yeah.
yeah. But ultimately, yep, he did sign the extension with Golden State for 2 years, a 2 year, $121 million extension. So it looks like it's going to be a multi-team deal. So it seems like the final details are still kind of trickling in because some assets are getting moved elsewhere. But the bulk of it
I
is,
haven't seen that yet.
yeah, the bulk of it is Jimmy Butler's going to Golden State for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. So what's happening here is it looks like Kyle Anderson was getting routed to Toronto, but then that got nixed. So I guess they're trying to find another landing spot for
a
Kyle.
third team. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be Miami, and it was going to be Toronto. Something happened there, so now they're essentially just trying to figure out where to move Anderson. But it's pretty
My
much
honest thoughts on that, I don't really think really much any team got better in that, to be honest, between the Heat and the Warriors. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, he's a good player, definitely. Definitely a good starter. On damn near any team in the league. But I don't think the Heat necessarily needed any more depth. They needed another star player in a sense because the Heat already do have a pretty deep team. To be honest, I think they have a pretty good farm system, and they end up getting a lot of players like over that hurdle, and you end up seeing like players like Tyler Hero end up emerging, and players like Jaquez, so he's, everybody, is kind of and Duncan Robinson and so on too, so I think they have a good farm system. They didn't need, to add more players to what's already a pretty deep lineup. Schroeder's good, but you already are going to be battling with minutes with him and Rozier. Um, uh, and then Wiggins, that's a good replacement for Jimmy. And then Anderson, I can see them probably shipping him off, but I don't think anybody necessarily got better.
I mean, listen, I think this is just good for everybody involved. Jimmy finally got out of Miami, which I think was needed to happen. You know me, I'm happy to see Miami. Happy to see Miami
Plummet.
plummet in any way possible. The downfall of Miami is always impending on
Yeah, Miami and the Lakers.
I'm hopeful. Yeah, we'll get there. Trust me. I got a lot of energy saved for y'all. But
we are the main event. So,
like I said, it would behoove me to not talk about it in that light. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, it is what it is. Y'all got the spotlight right now. It's just you always seem to.
We always do.
Fucking do it somehow.
The spotlight always seems to find us.
I don't know.
But I can't wait to get on my rant about that. But there's more news. Well,
yes,
pretty much news.
So continue on the deadline. But just to finish, last note on that Jimmy thing. I feel you, but like I said, I mean, I guess if we had to pick a winner, honestly, to your point, I'd probably still, as much as I hate to say it, I would say Miami because they got rid of Jimmy.
And they got a first-round pick.
Because to me, Jimmy, Wiggins, similar players. I understand the main difference is the effort there.
Yeah, Jimmy got that dog.
Jimmy puts a little bit, probably a lot more effort than a Wiggins. But I think it's ironic that now Jimmy gets traded for Wiggins when the whole Minnesota situation. He got traded out. Funny how things always comes full circle.
Yeah, right.
All right. But all right, so to continue on with that, like I said, I definitely thought that was going to be the biggest news of the deadline, but with some other ones today. Jonas Valanciunas, the Wizards traded Jonas Valanciunas to the Kings for Side Soko and 2 second-round picks. So that was also a decent one. Also today, I'm trying. Looks like
Middleton and Kuzma.
We're getting there. Yep. We're getting to the smaller ones first.
There was more?
Yep. The Pelicans traded Daniel Tice to the Thunder.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Yep. And then the Boston Celtics traded Jaden Springer and a second-round pick to Houston. So it looks like they're just essentially changing second-round picks but Springer gets tossed in because
That's doing a
why not?
swap.
I'm guessing, yeah. And then also, and it was funny because I saw a clip earlier today of Kenyon Martin on the Gilbert Arenas show, and looked like he got like a phone call in the middle of the pod, and he had to like get up and go. Seems like it was about this. KJ Martin got traded to Detroit for 2 second picks. So
That's interesting. He
so
definitely got that real time reaction.
for sure, and it looks like Detroit might be sneaking into the that little play in there. If they can continue to,
Yeah. I mean,
continue to
Detroit have definitely been stepping it up, man. It's not the same team as last season, and Cade is not the same dude from last season either. So
go.
yeah.
So, since you mentioned it, if you got the details up, I'll let you go ahead and let
Which
everybody know.
one for?
Yeah, Chris Middleton trade.
For Chris Middleton and Kyle Kuzma. So Kyle Kuzma got traded over to the Bucks,
Former
and
Laker, Kyle Kuzma.
former Laker, and Middleton, former Buck, gets traded over to the Wizards. So what you think about that one?
They did Middleton dirty by sending him to Washington.
Yeah, anybody getting sent to Washington is done dirty for sure.
Milwaukee did him dirty, but it was only a matter of time, bro. He hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, I mean it's been too much inconsistencies for Middleton and too many times being in and out of the lineup. I get it, at the end of the day, it's a business, and they had to do what they had to do.
I'm,
Getting back a player like Kyle Kuzma.
I'm just shocked with Kuzma, honestly. That doesn't seem like a fit for Milwaukee,
See, I don't mind it, to be honest, because I mean, you see the way Kyle Kuzma played with the player like LeBron. I mean, I know Giannis and LeBron, they're not the same type of player, but they do have similarities to where they are, the central focus of a team. They can draw a lot of attention and be able to get other players involved just based off of the gravity that they pull. So, I definitely think Kuzma will step it up, and he's going to be able to play meaningful basketball.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
No, I could ever see how it works, especially with his one-on-one skill, which is something that the Bucks lack. It's just Kyle Kuzma doesn't seem like the type of player that like, oh shit, like, not for nothing. He gets the reputation for lack of effort and lazy and da da da. But that's always.
But that was the type of criticism he got when he was on the Wizards. When he was on the Lakers, the type of criticism he got was he was inconsistent and he wasn't able to get over the hurdle of being like, hey, that next guy up. And that's what we see now at Kyle Kuzma, was to be the next guy up.
Well, that's the thing. I still think that inconsistent labels still sticks, and I think that's.
I agree. But being able to play some meaningful basketball, I think it'll show that effort, the lack of effort that he had in Washington. That's gonna go away because the Bucks are top 4 seed in the East. So
Definitely, man. Like I said, it's definitely a shrewd move. Like I said, Al Kuzma to the Bucks was not. Again, all of these trades honestly have been kind of out of nowhere. So
out of nowhere,
nothing really should be too surprising if we're being honest. But man, it was just so funny hearing rumors yesterday, today. Kevin Durant maybe one of the Warriors, and then him talk about.
I thought he was going to go to the Heat.
I was like, yeah, and mentioning he would only go to the Heat, and I was like, okay, maybe are they maybe going to try to get something there, but that'd be dumb because Jimmy only wants to go to Phoenix to play with KD and Book. So I don't know. It was definitely very funny. So the second biggest trade till we get into this one is De'Aaron Fox, 3-team deal. I think that was very good deal for everybody around.
I like it. I do like it.
De'Aaron Fox is actually playing right now, or the game's about to finish up. Honestly,
yeah. They're playing the Hawks right now.
Already got a double with assists. So I feel like he's gonna probably from here on out he's gonna be averaging at least 10 assists easily. De'Aaron
with
Fox.
Chris Paul on the team too.
So yep, Chris Paul playing the backup, which is crazy. Probably, but,
is he playing the backup? I thought De'Aaron Fox would have been like the 2 or something.
I mean, they probably will share the core at times, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't see what the starting lineup was today. I'm assuming that's probably what it was. But if I'm them, I want Castle getting in event taking
They
that.
got a lot of guards, man. They got a lot of guards for sure. So.
I want Castle to take that starting spot.
Can you see
long
Chris
term.
Paul get moved again?
What was that?
Could you see Chris Paul get moved now at this point?
Yeah,
At this point, why not?
it'd be up to him. But I think
Yeah.
he's in a great position, honestly.
But it is nice to be, especially to have that type of vet around Wemby
Yeah,
at this stage in his career. That's valuable. So
he can still mentor the young guys like he was going to.
Mhm.
But guess what? That's even less stress on him.
Yep, and you get to mentor De'Aaron Fox and everything too. So that ain't
Literally
bad.
hand the reins. So, like I said, I think ultimately that's a good one. But there was more pieces to the puzzle in that trade. I think this part is the one that the part that shocked me the most. So De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, the Bulls sent Zach LaVine to the Kings. The Bulls in exchange got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 first round pick back. So
Yeah. Wait, you're talking about so the Bulls got back, but God, the Kings done got back hella picks, bro.
no, I mean that's the
I'm
thing.
looking at that, I'm like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got back 6 picks. They got back 3 first rounders and 3 second rounders for the Kings. That's insane. So they definitely got back some capital to build over the next couple of years.
No, they definitely did.
Meanwhile, having a decent squad to be able to stay afloat as well. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just surprised because it seems like the Kings they don't really know what they're doing.
They don't.
Seems like they're still trying to compete, and this was not like to me. A lot of those picks, there's protections. We'll get into the full details a little later, but I think it's just I don't know for the Kings to trade De'Aaron Fox. They definitely took the L in this.
I didn't understand why though.
For sure.
And why did he want out?
Yeah, no, he requested a trade.
Which I didn't understand because after Mike Brown got fired, they've been rolling.
Not for nothing. I think that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even his response when Mike Brown got fired, he just basically like, oh, like, you know.
Yeah, he never
like it's a business, you know.
He never signed the extension for a reason. So, you know,
Yeah.
it kind of goes to show like, all right, he was kind of planning this for a little minute, honestly.
Yeah. And the Kings are who drafted him too, right? So yeah, he's been there for a hot minute. So what's that? At least 8 seasons, maybe 9. So
I think he was 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think he was the same year as Lonzo.
So
that would have been like 2017, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. So 8 years.
So, but the Kings be kinging. You know, that's what they do. Unfortunately,
Sacramento be shacking. So.
That's better. Sacramento be sacking. That's the way to go. All right. And now,
ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event of the season, of the decade, of a lifetime. Hey, you know, I was trying to get my you know, trying to get my announcing on. You know what I'm saying? But,
no, for sure.
Let me. Can I just give you a chronological order of how my night went?
Go ahead.
Leading up to this. All right.
Let's see if this was a
It was
Lakers
an
fans,
eventful,
let's see if y'all can.
very eventful day for me, right? So me and you, we were talking about getting on the pod just so that we can talk about not just, but so we can talk about the Royal Rumble. You
Which
know,
we'll
separate
get
separate
into.
conversation. I'm not going to get into all the details and everything, right? So I'm watching the Royal Rumble, enjoying it, seeing all the surprises. Then I'm like, okay, the Laker game's on. I flipped over, started watching my Lakers. Absolutely whopped the Knicks, by the way, without AD. So roughly about 30 minutes after the game, I'm just chilling, coming down from a great night. You know, it's like, all right, Royal Rumble season. Lakers just killed the Knicks in the Garden. And then I see something pop up on Twitter. Excuse my language, but I'm like, what the fuck? Because for one, I look at Sham's tweet and I'm like, yo, that is fake news. So I'm disregarding it, but at the same time, I'm still looking for other sources. Then I see Shams send another tweet saying, no, this is real. LOL. And I'm like, oh, this is definitely fake. So I thought he got hacked. So
You and
me and
everybody else.
everybody else, right? So me, I'm so in disbelief because I'm like, it doesn't make sense. I see ESPN tweet, and I'm like, yo, that shit is fake too. Did everybody get hacked? Is this a global hack job? What's going on, bro? And then I see it happen on TV, and I'm like, yo, it's real. Lakers trade Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the 2029 first round pick for Luka Doncic, Markieff Morris, and Maxi Kleber. What the hell? Bruh. So I was tight at first.
Reaction.
My immediate reaction, I was tight. I'm like, Anthony Davis, that's my guy. That's my favorite player in the league. So I was really upset. Huh? Oh, no. We ain't gonna do that. Not for AD.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. If we asking your ass, then I get it.
No. I just meant overall. I mean, listen, like I said, to say this was shocking was an understatement. I'm still wrapping my head around it, honestly, to a degree. Because for the Mavericks, it just doesn't make sense. In no way, shape, or form does this trade make sense. Basically, if you didn't see what happened or hear what happened, long story short, the GM of the Mavericks basically said, that guy right there, basically told him, you're out of shape. I don't think you're going to get into shape. I don't like your face. I don't, he had his Kendrick on. Let's be honest. He had his hater.
Literally hating.
You walk.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
Yeah, literally, he had his hater shit on, if we're being honest. And because leading up to this, apparently Nico fired everybody, all of Luka's people. Like anybody that was associated with Luka got fired. So the writing was kind of on the wall. But for you to trade,
because you still think that would never happen.
Luka Magic, Luka the Don, whatever moniker you want to use, to trade him at 25 years old when he just bought a house
in his prime.
When he just bought a house in Dallas,
he just took you out of the finals.
Was just in the finals last year.
Just dropped 73 last year.
For Anthony Davis, and for your reasoning being, you say defense wins championships, and you were worried about Luka's availability.
Crazy, bro.
We talking about the same Anthony Davis? And listen, I know that's gonna be your face. All right, he's been better last season and this season. Cool. History says Anthony Davis is made of glass. Okay,
not history, just a couple of seasons.
Right.
because the
No,
2020 year
college, he
it
got
wasn't like
hurt.
this.
His rookie season, he got hurt. So listen, majority of since I've known of
Basketball
AD,
players,
he's been hurt.
athletes get hurt, and I
Yes,
mean, but the
some
thing
of
is,
them.
I hate the narrative around it. But I know I'm not going to get too much into it. But I hate the narrative because we talk about all these other, or actually, I'm sorry, we don't talk about all these other players like Kawhi, like Paul George, Joel Embiid, all these other players that are out on the constant daily.
We
But just
do.
because a couple of sports analysts call him street clothes, everybody want to run with it. So I'm gonna kill that narrative. I'm gonna kill it.
You may kill that narrative. I am not. I'm.
And they're already backpedaling.
Okay.
And they're already backpedaling on that narrative too. Charles Barkley already like, oh, the Mavericks are gonna be the best team in the world. Shut your ass up, Charles. That's crazy to me.
He may. I'm not
backpedaling, bro.
Because
But
other than when y'all won in 2020, when it's mattered, AD's been hurt. When he was with the Pelicans, they never went anywhere. Why? Because he was always hurt. Since 2020,
I get what you're saying. So based off of what what's his name? What Harrison said about Nico Harrison, the GM for the Mavericks. He, bro, in his press conference, this man looked afraid for his life. Not afraid for his job. He looked afraid for his life. And every excuse that he's given, it just did not make any sense whatsoever.
The more he talks, the worse it looks.
I've never seen anything this bad, bro. I've never seen anything this bad. I think, honestly, when it happened, this man was like, he was popping his shit. He's like, let's go. Like, I pulled off a big one. And he sees all the reactions, all the Mavs fans. And he's like, oh, shit. You know?
That's the thing. Honestly, I don't think he cares because he wouldn't have made this trade if he did.
Crazy.
Because you don't. This is clearly a tone deaf move in every way. The aspect that and it's not even to say that, like, all right, let's just, I don't even know what I'm trying to be pushing.
For me, I think that with this shit going on, bro, it's got to be so much more than the news that's coming out.
Look, there's no way. All right, I believe Luka got surprised by the news. I believe he might have been the only one that got surprised by the news, and not like that he got and surprised only meaning by when he got traded. I like these big entities involved. Like, he's hurt, and you can see that. But I refuse to believe that the parties involved were not involved to the degree that it's being reported that they are. And yes.
So what do you mean? What do you
mean by that? Choice but to say it. That LeBron didn't know. That Luka didn't know. That Jason Kidd didn't know. That's bullshit. I refuse to believe that because one, like,
come on, Jay.
There's no way this shit gets done,
Jay,
on the Lakers side,
man,
without LeBron signing off and saying okay. If he don't say okay,
no, bro. I hate you. Always love to talk about this LeBron stuff. So for me, I think
I'm doing what people keep backpedaling on.
This is the first time
they're backpedaling on.
So for me, I think this is genuinely.
I believe.
I think this is genuinely the first time that LeBron had no idea. Because listen, let me explain.
You mean to tell me in year 21, year 22 is going to be the one, bro? They just drafted his son.
Yes,
you think now they're going to say, "Oh, we're not keeping you involved in shit," when they literally just drafted his? No, bullshit.
Because they don't need to.
Believe that they don't
need to, bro.
Son.
Jay, listen.
Whether they need to or not, they did.
Let me explain. Right?
There's no way. Are you cool with AD? Are you cool with this trade going down? If LeBron says no, it doesn't happen. That's my point. LeBron clearly said yes.
Tripping, bro.
If LeBron says no, this trade doesn't happen.
Bro, you're tripping. So look,
You don't think they would have gave him that
with
call?
this?
We're like, yo, we're about to do this, but if you don't think we should do this, then we're not going to do this.
Bro,
You don't
Newark.
think they gave him that call?
All right.
That's
So
crazy. That's
so
crazy.
listen to this.
They gave him that call.
No, listen to this, right? So at this point in LeBron's career, right? And let me finish before you jump in, right? So at this point in LeBron's career, he's in year 22, right? They're trying to pull over like the next move, the next piece for the Lakers post LeBron, right? If they're thinking post LeBron, they don't need to involve LeBron, right? LeBron is not signing off on Anthony Davis getting traded. He would have signed off on, yes, absolutely getting Luka. There would have been other ways to get Luka as well, right? Maybe taking a little bit more time trying to see what other pieces can come into play, right? But I genuinely think that for the first time, that this is the first time LeBron had no idea. Anthony Davis was blindsided. Luka was blindsided. You seen Jason Kidd, he's blindsided. Nobody knew, and generally you see reports from every single person like that is close to anyone, like that you can see credible sources from LeBron's camp, what's his name? Brian Windhorst and damn, I forgot his name. But so it's just like at this point, like it is the first time LeBron didn't know. He doesn't need to know, because this is for a move that's post LeBron. Like the Lakers are not necessarily equipped to say like, okay, they're gonna absolutely win a championship. No, they're not gonna absolutely win a championship this year.
It's not though.
They might not win a championship with LeBron.
Their assets beyond Luka are, what are your assets? You guys don't have future assets. That's the point. You guys, this team, it's a mixed construed trade.
They don't need assets.
Luka itself is for the future, but
because they don't need assets.
They don't have a future. Y'all don't.
You know what their asset is?
And if
you know what their asset is, they have two.
And if Luka, guess what? He's not getting the Supermax and not eligible.
Yeah.
So he can literally. Any team can give him the same amount of money. So who's to say he doesn't just say he doesn't just
and that's the gamble you take
on the 5 extension, and he just says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Denver and join Jokic."
If Magic had any type of allure, they would have made a move like this too. And at the same time, you know what I'm saying. But the Lakers do have assets. They have two assets, right?
They have nothing to do with that.
So they got two assets. They got they got
relationships,
brand as the Lakers. And they also have Luka Doncic
and relationships, because the relationship of Nico and the relationship of Nico and Rob Pelinka was like 20 plus years. So that's what I'm saying. These relationships is why this shit got done. You mean to tell me with all these relationships, those are the only two motherfuckers that had a conversation? No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I do think so. I absolutely think so. Because for me, it wouldn't make sense for LeBron to sign off on that, especially when it's like AD, for one, that's his best friend. For two, they already work. And for three, that's something that, like, okay, on paper, you can look at that and say, all right, LeBron and AD are more championship ready than LeBron and Luka. Because in the middle of the season, LeBron and Luka. It doesn't make any sense. The Lakers made this move as not even a move for this season. It's a move for next season and for the future. And it's a gamble that you take. Any team in the league would have gave up whatever they had to give up. And the Lakers only had to give up, and not only, I don't want to disrespect Anthony Davis, but they gave up, a star player in Anthony Davis, an all NBA player, an emerging role player as Max Christie, and a first round pick. So if they were to shop around, because what do you like? It doesn't make sense for you to say no. Only those two don't know, because if more people knew, this would have got out to everybody, bro. You don't think Rich Paul would have tried to protect his client in Anthony Davis? Come on, bro. He's a part of Clutch as well.
What do you mean? Rich Paul was the reason Anthony Davis is in LA in the first place, because he orchestrated that shit. Okay,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
so it's not like he's gonna.
All of a sudden,
he's gonna blow that up.
All of a sudden, his hands are just wiped clean now. All of a sudden, on his agent, no, like he.
What are you saying?
These parties got notified, bro. Like they knew this was going down. There's no way.
There's no way.
the highest agent, the top agent in the game, the top executives in the league, we all consider the GOAT. No, I don't.
You know why this trade was so shocking?
Only Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka were the only two that
Jazz didn't even know. Did you see those reports? Danny Ainge and the Jazz didn't even know what was going on. By the time that they knew what was going on, it was already too late. So Danny Ainge done helped the Lakers get Luka Doncic without even knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why this trade was so shocking and probably the most shocking trade damn near in sports history, according to damn near every sports outlet, is because for one, the first time ever, two GMs were able to keep that shit in house. And because if LeBron was to know and other people were to know, that would have gotten out, bro. Like easily it would have gotten out.
No,
we can agree to disagree. I'm gonna die on that hill.
Yeah,
and I mean, as you can see, everyone's reporting the same thing, and it only makes sense. This would have never, bro. Come on, bro.
Again,
you don't think every team in the league would have been trying to shop for Luka?
No.
If only if this got out and it was more than just those two people.
I'm not saying they didn't keep it within a tight circle, but to say LeBron didn't know, LeBron's agent didn't know, Luka's agent didn't know, AD's agent didn't know is bullshit.
So let me ask you this, right? For what reason, right? And I get, because you're a Magic fan, you got to be a conspiracy theorist. That's all you guys can hang on to. Sorry, but
see, not necessary shots because you're just mad. You got no reason to do that.
No. But I'm just saying though. So you don't think at this point in time, Luka wouldn't be like, okay, yeah, I knew that this was coming. Why? Well, for what reason? What reason at all does he have to say, I was genuinely shocked by it? He just bought a house. Why would he buy a house last week if he knew? Apparently, this was going on for 4 weeks. And this was going on basically the week after Christmas when he got hurt. There's no way that these parties knew. There's no reason for it. This was a power move too.
You are not listening. I'm not saying that they knew this whole process. Before this trade got finalized, before the two GMs called the league office to say this is going to go through, Luka got a call. Whether he answered or not is up to him. LeBron got a call. Whether he answered or not is up to him.
That's what happened, yes.
Anthony Davis got a call. So
yes,
you mean
that's what happened.
In that call, if those three parties did not agree,
they don't have to agree, bro.
Yes,
It doesn't make sense, Jay. Come on. Bro.
Why is it on year 22, LeBron's all of a sudden just not going to his influence? He just says, fuck it. I'm going, you got it. I'm done.
It's not because he doesn't have the choice to do that.
Yeah, he always has. Why all of a sudden he's just going to let it go?
It's not the fact that he didn't have the power for that, bro. It's not like
bro, he's the GM because he has the power. Jay. Yes, and you know.
Come on, bro. No, bro. Come on.
You're saying LeBron doesn't have any more pull in that team? Of course he does.
Yes, bro. He does have pull in the team, right? Yeah. So let me explain this, right?
No. Well, to finish his career, like he said, he don't want to be competitive, dog.
It don't make no sense.
In order to be competitive, there's a lot of factors that got to go into it.
All right, let me rephrase this so hopefully you can understand from a different perspective.
I understand.
No, real quick. So if
nothing you can say to change my mind.
And likewise, right? So hey, this is what debates are about, right? So it's never going to change the mind, but it's to get the point across, right? So in this case, right, if it was to where you have it, let's say on your team, right? This is 10 years later. And Paolo, or 15, 20 years later, he had a great career, right? You guys hang on to him, and he's starting to wind down, right? He probably has about 2 years left in him. Then you get approached by another GM to get the next big player, and he's like, hey, let's keep it under wraps. And regardless of how you feel about, Paolo, that, hey, this guy is going to help bring your team to the promised land for the next 10 years, right?
First
So
of
that's
all,
success.
let me
Hold on,
stop you there
real quick.
because you're using franchise player versus the second franchise player. So, but continue.
But either way, so at the end of the day, wait. So like at this time, let's say you guys are able to bring somebody in, and Paolo's like, oh yeah, nah, you're gonna ship off my other like my Franz, right? So Franz and Paolo were still on the team, right? And Franz is winding down too, and it's like, all right, it's time to move on, because Paolo's getting older, but hey, we're gonna keep Paolo because of the star. He's a big star, and that's what Lakers are attracted to is stars, right? So they're like, hey, the big name is LeBron. We can't just trade LeBron. We can't trade a superstar like that. No other superstars will ever want to come to our team if we just trade LeBron, right? So at the end of the day, all right, we're going to trade for Luka. Unfortunately, we got to give up Anthony Davis. I don't care what LeBron thinks, or in your case, what Paolo thinks at this point. I'm going to make that trade. So yes, they did do their due diligence and let LeBron know and Anthony Davis know before they sent it to the league office and before Shams reported the news. Because at the end of the day, they still try to hold integrity. They still try to not burn a bridge, because that's what professionals do. So yes, they let him know, but there was no say. If LeBron said no, the Lakers gonna be like, okay, well, bruh, it's Luka Doncic, So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what LeBron said, and even
Again,
if he did say no,
that's what I don't believe. That's the point. If LeBron, things happened the way they did clearly because LeBron said, "Oh, it's Luka. Fuck yeah, let's do it." Of course, that's my point. If it wasn't Luka, because if it probably was anybody else besides Luka, LeBron says no. Okay. And if
But they didn't
LeBron
have
says
to.
no, this doesn't. You're saying they don't have to, but they did. That's my point.
How do
LeBron
you
just
know
said
that?
yes this
How do you
time.
know that?
We
How do you
don't.
know that?
We don't know he did.
Why would
and we don't know
everybody
he did.
report? Why would everybody report the same thing, Jay? How come
That's my
only
point.
you? How
They
come only
didn't.
you
That's
have
my
the inside
point.
scoop, Jay?
That's my
Who are
point.
you?
They didn't.
How come you
That's
have
my
the inside
point.
scoop?
That's my point. They didn't
It doesn't
report.
make sense, bro.
That's my point.
Jay, it don't make sense.
No, you're not listening. They didn't report that he didn't get notified at the last minute. That's not what he's saying. Like you're not really listening to what I'm saying because you think I'm trying to just hate. Yes, I hate. I don't deny it. I'm not literally only trying to hate right now. But you being deaf to not to what I'm fucking saying is making the hater come out a little bit more. I'm not trying to hate. All I'm trying to say is literally, if LeBron says no, this don't happen. Clearly he says yes, and that's smart on him. But there's no way that LeBron loses his influence on this team. They ran it by LeBron. Yo, we about to do this. You cool? He said, fuck yeah, we're cool. All right, cool. In that moment, he says, nah, XYZ. Then they'll be like, okay, we will consider it.
Bruh. So you generally,
or let's at least try to get more. Let's get more from the trade than we're getting. Because again, to your point,
yeah, they could.
If it's building for the future, they didn't do besides Luka, they didn't do a good job. Y'all don't got nobody on that team beyond 2 years.
The Lakers are.
Y'all don't got anybody beyond 2 years. So it's literally Luka, and then you got to start from scratch with what draft picks.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with. I agree with that.
It's not really.
The Lakers are extremely. I'll tell you one thing about my team. They are, and this has always been the case. The Lakers are extremely short-sighted when it comes to superstars. We just seen it, right? We seen Russell Westbrook.
That's my point. Well, this can't be this is not a real future move. There's a lot of other shit involved. It's really on the Mavericks. We're spending too much time on the Lakers side of it when we really got to be focusing on the Mavericks side.
But I generally, me personally, and according to everybody else, because hey, why lie? Especially when all these sports insiders that love to get the scoop, right? I don't get it. I don't understand why.
Brian Windhorst is never.
Everybody's saying the same thing.
First of all, Brian Windhorst is never going to throw LeBron on the bus. So, because that's his buddy from day one. So, not saying that he would, but if anything ever would have happened, Brian Windhorst is not throwing LeBron on the bus, and we know that. So he's not truly the best person to ask. Shams, he's still new to the game, but he's been credible up until now. So you really don't have much of an argument to go.
McMiniman.
Or not saying
all these people that what I'm saying. It's a lot of people out there that are reporting the same
they're
thing.
all corroborating what
But why?
sources close to LeBron told Windhorst. So it's like, obviously that's how this shit works. But
why?
Because it would make LeBron look bad. Because again, this is not, you say it's a future
But
move.
this is making LeBron look bad.
No.
Apparently he doesn't have the power anymore, right? So, like, I don't understand what narrative and why that would be being forced.
No,
right?
it's not, because Lakers fans are all like you and up in arms anytime anybody tries to say anything bad about LeBron now. So it's like,
it's not even that.
About LeBron.
It just, for me, it doesn't make sense that your theory is that if people knew when it's like
LeBron knew. Fuck everybody
else is
LeBron knew.
That I mean, hey, we could agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But
does Michael Jordan get traded from the Bulls without getting notified? I don't think so. So the GOAT.
But it's not like LeBron got traded.
No.
And LeBron has a no trade clause.
Well,
so he would have to be notified if he was getting traded.
The Bulls let Michael Jordan know they were trying to trade Pippen. So let's perfect example then. They did that.
For sure. But at the end of the day, I think
and Jordan said, guess what? If he goes, I go. And guess what they didn't do? Trade Pippen. So you know what I'm saying? That's my point. Obviously, LeBron said yes, but it's because to say that this was a full-sided move for the future is short-sighted, because your team is not built for the future. It's a mix built for now and the future. But again, the only future asset is Luka.
Yeah, and that's what the Lakers really depend on and that's what's always been our downfall a lot of the time, is that we really depend on the stars. We depend on the stars, and our name is our asset. We're like, oh, for years we were missing on big free agents before LeBron got there, because we tried to rely on, all right, just our name. And before that, when Kobe was still playing, we tried to rely on the star and the name, and it still didn't work. Nobody wanted to come play with us. So I hope, history doesn't repeat itself, but it was a short-sighted move slightly. But at the end of the day, all 29 other teams, actually, I'd say 28 teams, except for the Nuggets, right? They would have all made the same move. They would have moved their second biggest star, sent some draft capital to get Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Case closed.
But again, that's my point. It didn't get to that point because more parties are involved. Again, Anthony Davis, man, just literally talked about, I need centers. I want
so messed up. I was like, yo.
You mean to tell me that they, it's an accident that they just traded him after that and they didn't let him know within that process? Oh, look, you're going to get your wish. We're going to get you what you want. Like,
no, they didn't tell him.
No, it happened because, again, And
you don't think Anthony Davis and Luka would be the ones that are being honest to say, like, oh, yeah, I knew. They let me know.
No,
because they don't have any loyalty to the whole team anymore. Luka genuinely said, I had no idea.
And that's what I said. Luka genuinely
said,
I believe was blindsided.
Anthony Davis said, I had absolutely no idea. Anthony Davis said, I was right. He sent a text to the team. Like, he said, literally, not even 5 minutes before he got the call that he got traded. He sent a text to the team. He said he was about to watch a movie with his wife. He sent a text to the team saying, oh, like, good win. Because that was their first game they played without him. He said, oh, good win, And then he gets a call from Rob Pelinka saying he got traded. Then LeBron calls him immediately after FaceTiming him, saying the same thing. So me personally, I genuinely think there's no reason for it. And it's like, even if LeBron disagrees, who cares, LeBron? This move wasn't necessarily for you. Yes, and they knew that LeBron wants to play with Luka, so they knew LeBron wasn't going to be like, oh, up in arms and, all right, I'm leaving too. It's not like they traded him for fucking Kyle Kuzma. It's like, all right, we got Luka back. So he was gonna stay there. He used to always talk highly of Luka and mention that he wanted to try to play with Luka before. So at the end of the day, I don't think it was a matter of them having to go and consult with LeBron. This was a move that, like, all right, the team has to say, like, all right, enough is enough. We went and got Westbrook for you, LeBron. Now, at the end of the day, we have to go ahead and make a move, with or without your blessings. And then, like, coincidentally enough or conveniently enough, LeBron is like, okay, well, damn, my best friend got traded, but Like we got Luka Doncic. You can't complain about that. It's a business, bro.
No, but also you just drafted my son. I'm not gonna dip out now. I might dip out
Exactly.
next season.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Mhm.
It's like
And
it's
if they
it's
do that, and if he does,
it,
they did what they had to do. They got
you,
LeBron's replacement
you
essentially.
you do the trade 100 out of 100 times for sure. That's not again, but again, it's such a short sighted move on a lot of fronts that it's hard to believe more parties weren't privy to this because it doesn't make sense. And for something for the first time to happen, it doesn't make sense. What's the precedent? What's the precedent? You know, what changed? Again, I do believe Luka might have got blindsided. I do believe, certain people might not have known it. The finalization of it happened, but they knew something was happening. This shit happened too coincidental. AD says, "I want a big man." He gets traded to where
that makes it to where no, but that makes it to where that makes me believe because bro, you didn't listen to the interview. I feel like you're reading I feel like you're reading like the posts and the little excerpts from what
No,
the interview was
I'm just
because
listening
what
to
he
the
said because what he said was like I want to win a championship in LA. Like I didn't we didn't get a chance to get a parade. He also said he wants to do it for all the people that lost their fires in the Palisades fires and everything like
again.
that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm not.
all we need is a big man,
This shit
and
quick.
mhm. Yeah, but I think it
It's
just
happening quick, but
I
they
think it
knew.
went the
That's
way it
the point.
went. I think it went the way it went, but there is still more about it that we don't know.
Exactly.
Like that's what I
And that's
think.
the thing. People are being a little too quiet, a little too, oh no, we didn't know bullshit. Because something like this doesn't happen with nobody knowing. Bullshit.
So I don't know why you think nobody would want to get that big story out there and be like, shit, I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. But I guess,
Because
hey, I
he
guess
did.
we'll
I mean,
see. I guess we'll see.
we will
Right.
see. And it's gonna be a fun one to revisit whenever it does. All right.
Oh, most definitely. I can't wait to prove you wrong.
When Luca's a Nugget in 2 years, this is all gonna be worthless for
Stop
you.
playing with me, bro.
You're gonna
And
be a
when
mess.
Banchero's a Laker, I'm gonna love it too.
You already had,
When
you
Luca
already
and
had,
Banchero,
you already
when
had your
Luka,
shots. So I ain't even worry. You ain't phasing me no more. All right.
when
You,
Luca and
you started,
Banchero are
you
running
started
through the
that,
league.
you started that episode with the shots. So fuck you with the bullshit. All right.
You
All
know
right.
it's love.
But all love, all love. All right. But just kind of wrap it up real quick. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Rumble? Gonna give a short little break and then we're gonna just wrap it up with a little bit of Rumble talk. All right.
Let's get it.
All right, and we're back. We'll wait for Trey to get back on live. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. All right. Like I said, finish it off. We're gonna get a little bit of Rumble talk. By the way, you're right. Not no Lakers reporter, but don't be disrespectful of my credentials. All right.
You damn right.
What you talk?
I'm
All right. Don't disrespect the credentials.
I just meant as far as like out of all the reports,
You're right,
Jay
but I
got the inside scoop. My bad, y'all.
just want
Jay
you
got
to
that shit.
we continue. All right. All right, let's get on with it. Like I said, so originally, like I said, we were gonna get on after the Rumble, but recently my new nephew was just born. So
Hey, congrats.
shout out to little Emilio Lobor. Adorable little fucking guy. Oh my god, I love him.
He got to be a Laker fan.
Yeah, boy, you know me. I was already at the hospital with Magic gear as I do.
Singing like Orlando Magic,
Right?
Orlando Magic.
You know, you gotta christen them in the right way. All right, you just gotta start. But no, man. Shout out to my sister Selena for birthing another young king.
Congrats, Selena.
Second nephew. Other one Elijah. Man, just full of love. So yeah, this weekend I did end up getting a little bit busy. But long story short, we're here now. All right. So Rumble definitely. Honestly, like this whole week did not go.
Bro, the Rumble feels like it was a month ago. There was so much going on, bro.
But even then, it started off with that. Like that didn't go as planned. All right, we had a surprise, and then yeah, it was pretty much right after that the news broke about the Luka trade. Probably like a couple hours.
There was no time for us to react to the Rumble at all, bro.
So
it was an eventful Rumble. My personal opinion, one of the best of all time, to be honest, if not the best I can remember.
Start with the winners. Honestly, the biggest and most surprising, Jey Uso, main event Jey.
Hey,
definitely did not.
Which, for the record, this guy he already coined that phrase, that name.
Yeah,
that was the OG.
That was kind of given here first for different reasons, albeit, but main event Jey, that moniker was mine, but you got it, Oos. You can
you can borrow it for now, Oos.
Definitely doing good. No, but no, man, phenomenal. Definitely did not expect him to win. To that point, I literally dozed off like between Logan Paul eliminating CM Punk and then when Logan Paul got eliminated. So that's where the name comes from.
This is where the name comes from, y'all, by the way. We used to always link up for these pay-per-views all the time. And he'd be so live the whole show, reacting. And then the whole reason why we got together was to watch the main event. And then the minute the main event comes on,
slumped.
Main event Jey Serrano.
Not for nothing. It happened again. That just happens when you're laying down. It's just, yeah. That's what I'm saying. This was here first. But no, I literally woke up right when Logan got eliminated. And then, so it was like literally like a minute, maybe. It wasn't too long, but it was it was enough to be like, oh my God, I almost fucking missed it. I was like, oh God, I was so pissed. Then I woke up and
it would have been so worse if like you fall asleep and you wake up and it's like you can see like him celebrating and it's like damn, I missed how
that was what I was hoping wasn't on my screen once I woke up, but I ended up okay.
But wow, man, I that whole night I was just so much shock. But that was the first shock of the night. I was like, yo, I woke my girl. My girl fell asleep too. She main event Nicole. So she fell asleep. She was watching the show with me. I'm like waking her up. I'm like, yo, Jey Uso just won. He eliminated Cena. So Bro, like what? I was so shocked by that. I didn't expect that.
I kind of thought Cena would win there at that moment. I was torn. I was like, okay, I could see
I didn't
Jay.
think Jay had a chance at all. I
was
thought it
like,
was just to be
okay,
the
I
rub to
think they're gonna
to
give.
get him over to show like, okay, yeah, he's here, but oh my god, I didn't expect that. Not at all.
Nah, they definitely they did that, and I think they had the luxury of doing that based on having Charlotte win the women's match, which based on the fan reaction on Monday and the fan reaction on Twitter over the weekend.
Wow, I
Nobody
was mad.
So
At that point, I would have loved for Roxanne Perez to win.
the fact that she got that far, yeah, I definitely think was like, whoa, will they? She might do it.
That would have been so nice to see, and that would have been putting her so much over, like throwing Charlotte out. Like you guys they had the chance to make a huge star. Hey, but they did with somebody else. So I mean, either way, Jay was already over with the crowd. So
nah, they they solidified it though. Twitter. I mean, they'll solidify once he wins. But
oh yeah,
see, like with Jay, it goes back to Sami Zayn, LA Knight, all these guys that similarly they get a lot of fan reactions, but you worry about what's going to happen once they're done chasing. Jay went through that already, honestly, between the last year already. But I think at some point WWE got to like say they realizing they got to say fuck it and give one of these guys that title, which is why they're going for the heavyweight and not going to go for the WWE title.
Yeah, for the WWE, yeah, for sure.
So they get him that. But at some point, you got to give the fans really what they want. They didn't do it with Sammy. They didn't do it with LA Knight. And fans are mad that Jay's getting it now because
they didn't do it Rusev back in the day. There's so many history of like superstars that got over with the crowd that are like they are just super over with the crowd and they never get that push. And like we thought that was happening with Jey Uso because he was getting a lot of opportunity, to go for the title against Gunther, and then he gets put down.
It just happened,
Yep.
Like that was it.
And they threw us a curveball for sure because when we've seen that, okay, he's going to be wrestling Gunther the week before, I was like, okay, he's definitely not winning the Royal Rumble at all. Because either if he won, he's not winning, and then just because he got a title shot, he's not winning. So the fact that he won, I like that curveball they threw at us. They kept us guessing for sure. Because we also thought it could have been Roman, Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. We wasn't thinking of Drew McIntyre. We wasn't thinking Jey Uso.
This Rumble had a lot of star power. I think that's why they made a bold move, and that's why I think a lot of people are pissed because all of their favorite superstars were in the Rumble. But it's like,
but people are fake pissed. You want to know why?
It's internet pissed because the
internet pissed. Yeah. He was getting a reaction on Monday.
He's over. Yeah,
I didn't see no reaction like that. Damn near. I don't think ever, bro.
Yeah, no. So, like I said, I definitely think he'll win. I brought this up to you before. It's interesting because that means Gunther now loses back-to-back WrestleManias,
which is fine. I don't think it hurts him.
So I think that's they're fine, but it's like something interesting to think about. Like, huh?
Well, I think it's a good chance for them to press the reset button on Gunther because, not gonna lie, Gunther from 2022 to 2024, maybe mid 2024, was my favorite wrestler. Roman's my favorite, but in ring competitor, like from bell to bell.
He was doing great,
and it was also because of like he wasn't being like overexposed. I feel like they don't know really what direction of a character they want to use for Gunther. So I think it's going to be a good time for them to be able to like hit the reset button, not like all the way reset, but let's soft reset. Where it's like, all right, this is going to be your clear path, now at this point, because him with the title is definitely gotten stale. Because you can't just run through everybody for 2-3 years straight, have one defeat, where it was Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn within the past 2-3 years. So, they got to move on from them.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like I said, I'm not mad at not mad at the way they book things. It's just like, okay, it's just the only option is Jay taking it off Gunther now. So it's like, all right,
Mhm.
you kind of like, not that you got to plan now, but all right, what happens next? Like, you got to start planning. Honestly, who's the first one to challenge Jay if that's the route we're going? Because that's been the problem why they haven't wanted to give it to any of these guys. It's now that you got it, what's your personality? How are you going to sell it to the crowd? How are you going to, make people still buy into you? That's
Yeah,
why
because that's always the biggest hurdle is after they win the
about
title.
Cody what they want, but
What's
then still
next?
getting a great fucking reaction
Hmm.
all this time later. And there's been several opportunities for everybody to turn on him completely. So, he's a rare exception. So I think that happens. So they might be feeling a little more confident to be like, hey, let's give it a shot. But Charlotte was the
Curious.
Charlotte was
Oh,
the.
sorry.
You good? What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm curious what would be next for Jay if he was to, to win, because that's always the hurdle. Is like, all right, well, you were over the crowd, you finally got to the mountaintop. Now, how do we go ahead and continue that momentum? Because, what happened? Hold on, you guys definitely can't see me.
Uh-oh.
Looking like, you know, there we go. Something not as good lighting, but
It's all right. That'll work for now. We're almost out of here anyways. All righty. But yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't know what's next, but I'm definitely interested to see what happens. Again, people just got to shut up and let it happen.
yeah, let it play out.
But again,
Who do you think
Charlotte.
Charlotte goes against? Oh, that's what you're getting to. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Charlotte winning was the right choice, just based on everything else was in it. Alexa Bliss was the big surprise of the night.
Biggest pop of the night.
So once she got in, I kind of thought maybe she might win, and then she got eliminated pretty quickly. And I was like, okay, never mind. So once that happened, once 30 wasn't Becky, because as much as I wanted AJ Lee, we talked about it. I knew it wasn't.
I forgot about Becky until after the Rumble.
Once
And I was
30
like,
came,
wait, what happened to Becky?
it was like, oh, no Becky. Because with Charlotte there, I was like, okay, it makes sense to have Becky if it's not going to be AJ at 30. Like, perfect. So that's honestly where I was stuck. And when it wasn't, I was a little bit like, oh, okay, all right. So I guess Becky gonna factor in that chamber then or something, because I definitely would have thought she would have been on the Rumble, but supposedly she still factored in the Mania, so we'll see. But yeah, Charlotte, honestly, despite, I don't know if you saw the segment on Raw, where she tried to like downplay Rhea.
I didn't actually see Raw. No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see its entirety, but I saw her promo essentially, and
I did see that she got booed. So what was like the context of it?
that she honestly came out talking about just like how long it's been she's been out and the struggle she's gone through and how happy she is to be back and da 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 da. She was getting booed from the jump. So you can tell in her face she was kind of like, damn, like
yeah. And especially after like she went through some real life like triumph, it's not like she went away for a little bit for real.
And that's what she was trying to portray on the mic. But it's like no one cares. No one wanted to hear that. And it's like,
I mean,
you gotta understand that to a degree, because Charlotte's always had the reputation of coming in and take it over.
And taking over, yeah. And it's like, and she's always been at least a natural heel. Yeah, exactly. She's always been a natural heel. So
it was kind of tone deaf for her to come out and try to
100%.
Unless that was the point, unless it was on purpose.
Which I don't get, because like you even seen like have you seen the vignettes that she's had like leading up to coming back and everything like that? The shit was heelish. I mean, it's like Ric Flair like, it's Charlotte Flair like, okay, like I'm the best, like all that type of stuff. at the end of the day, it's a heel. Like nobody wants to hear like the baby face like, oh, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that, I'm better
Yeah.
than you. Like
Exactly.
you don't want to hear that from your baby face, like so it was absolutely tone deaf for her to come back and be like, oh yeah, like trying to get the sympathy from the fans. So
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so with that, but again, that it could have been intentional to hammer home the fact that she's the heel in these feuds, so people don't cheer her. So at the end of the day, people can talk shit all they want. This is really the first time people have like really booed Charlotte like that, like to this degree. I think there's boos.
Yeah, it's boos because it's forced. It's supposed to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's supposed to get booed.
But
Yeah,
this was genuine. Like, we don't want to see you right now. We are upset that you won. Like this.
yeah,
Those boos weren't character driven. They were like personal. Like it sounded.
yeah. Because it's like I wanted to see Charlotte come back and get into a meaningful feud without the title. There's so many women that she can work with. To be able to get people over the hump, to be able to just put on some banger matches. But it's just like, or to create a great story. But it's like she didn't need to, she didn't need to win the Rumble again, and to go main event, to go fight Rhea Ripley again. That's the match I want.
Yeah.
It was a banger, but I also don't think she needed to win the Rumble to do so.
No.
Just like how we talked about with Cena. Cena wouldn't have to win the Rumble, which I could have only seen it happen because it was his last Rumble. So that's why I could see it. And all the fans would have been okay with it. Yeah, but it's like there's other avenues which we see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to enter the Elimination Chamber. So there's other avenues to get to that main event. And Charlotte didn't need to take a Royal Rumble victory to pad her legacy. So, and it's not her fault. Obviously, she doesn't make the bookings, but yeah.
No, for sure. But, when it's all said and done, that thing is going to be the match. Charlotte, Rhea. Who wins? I think Rhea retains because I don't see the benefit.
Yeah, I definitely think Rhea retains. I don't think there's a benefit of Charlotte going.
But then again, it's also what next for Rhea, because it's like you gotta find somebody new. And to your point, that is where the problem is, because the buildup is going to be Charlotte up until Mania, and then you got nobody. Nobody up until that point has built any credibility to be able to challenge. So you got to start fresh, and then it's like, but who? And it's like, it's, I don't know. It's definitely put themselves.
So I don't know why it's taking so long to get to Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I don't know why it's taking so long. I don't know why it's taking so.
They're trying to.
It's Las Vegas.
I'm pretty sure they're trying to pay off Jade, the Jade storyline with Bianca first.
Which that's part of the problem. But it's like, if like they're the female John Cena and Batista. You know what I mean? Like they're just two emerging stars coming up at the same time. And I genuinely think Bianca Belair. Well, no, Rhea Ripley's over too. They're both huge. Yeah, Bianca has her own show. Like they're huge. Like two of the biggest stars in the company outside of Roman, Cody, now Jey Uso, CM Punk, and then somewhere in between those names is Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. So and I'm not saying they're under any of them. They might even be more over than half of those names. So
all depends on who you ask, really. But they're definitely up there. Definitely up there.
What did you think about or I don't know if I'm jumping, but that ladder match?
Yep. No, we were gonna get into that. Before we get into that, let's just, since most people don't really care anyways, let's just kind of get on the tag team match.
It was a banger.
Honestly, that was my smoke break. But
it was a banger though. It was everything I saw as well.
Because I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw the beginning.
You're smart. We are wrestling fans. We know when to peek in, because we know it's a 2-out-3 falls. We know it's going to go one team, the other team, and now who's going to win. So I was available for that third fall.
I came in right at the second fall.
Me too.
So I didn't miss much, but that was.
I felt bad, but it was like this. I wasn't really too interested. They didn't do a good job of building it, which is what I hate about.
I actually thought it was a good build.
I
I
did like
actually
the
thought it was
teams.
a good build.
I did like the teams. So I was
I thought
interested.
it, oh, you didn't like the teams.
I did. No, I did like the teams.
Oh, you did like. I thought it was a
Yeah.
good build though. To be honest.
No. I just didn't. It was probably me not paying too much attention recently to it, because I'm just still stuck on like them turning weeks ago or like a month ago. That's like the only thing that's fresh in my head, and not that it wasn't good, but again, that was like 2 months ago or like a month ago. So it's like,
yeah,
that's like
that's true. I mean, yeah. So
that was like the only
nothing else
strong,
meaningful
like,
happened like since then. Yeah,
exactly.
I guess.
That was the only thing that really like sold me on it. I like both teams. Both teams were,
Well, the other thing that happened with it too was like, because it was more so like, okay, like I think they had another match. Yeah, another championship match. I think they lost. Then it came to the point where, all right, there's another team involved. And I think most of it was to play out to what we seen with the Street Profits at the end, because there was a whole mix of everybody together where they're like finding out, all right, who attacked the Street Profits? So between those two teams. So I think it was the
It was
Street
paying
Profits
off
were
a
part of
storyline.
that build.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was paying off a storyline, which as fans you got to appreciate. So while most people will tell you that this wasn't a good match or it was a waste, those aren't true. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle between everything else that was going on. It was a good match, good
Yeah, it was
team,
a really good match.
solid story. Again, it would have made more sense if they interrupted the match instead of going after.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing that they said after the match was it was a good point, was that they know that it was DIY that attacked them, and that they wanted to go ahead and make sure to take those same titles from DIY. So I mean, I get obviously
exactly.
if they
So
would have interfered, yeah, they would have retained anyways.
It would have been DQ'd
That's
and they would have
true.
retained it. That's my
That's
point.
true. But I feel like the more simple form of it would be to say like, okay, DIY won the match, and yeah, but
yeah, no, it just like, to me, it was just a little mistimed, but we got there at the end of the day. We got to the goal. So,
and we wanted to see the heel Street Profits for the longest.
yeah.
So
they both are, Dawkins and Ford are they're both fire, honestly.
Yep.
But yeah, and that ladder match, bro. Let me tell you, when I tell you, for the first time in a while, I was genuinely worked and genuinely
KO died.
Genuinely concerned for someone's life.
Yo,
I thought KO was dead,
bruh.
And we're
KO was
laughing.
a madman,
It's
bro.
funny. That's the laugh of nervousness. But if you guys go back and watch that, you'll know what we're talking about.
I thought KO got unalived.
Like, he got Alabama slammed on a ladder
through the rungs of the ladder.
And when he
folded.
When he did, as the ladder folded, he folded. And so when he landed on his back, but when he landed, he flipped over.
And his neck was just like in the ladder.
His head and neck was the only thing on the floor. I mean, his feet were
crazy, bro.
Posting on the floor. So it's like, you see that, and you see the reaction of everybody else around them. All the medical personnel.
And then even Sammy, I feel like Sammy ran over to, he was going to try to like bend, I guess, try to bend him back. Cause it's just like, yo, like, yeah.
But then once I see Cody bring him up for the crossroads, I was like, okay, yeah. All right. There's no way they let him get back up and do that
No, he didn't do a crossroads after. Nah, it's a ladder match. He went straight back into the ring and got the belts. The reason why I knew he was okay was the fact that they continued to film him and Sami Zayn was continuing to do his thing, and that's when I knew it was okay. Because I was like, yo, because I feel like they would have tried to put him in a better position.
They would have they would have cut
Kevin Owens was like, yo, I'm good. Like, let this play out. And that's when I was like, okay, he gotta be all right.
Yeah.
No. That was.
But that match was brutal. They took some crazy bumps. Kevin Owens in a lot of matches, he always does some crazy shit. Cody Rhodes, we seen what he did in AEW. Always does some crazy shit in the ladder match. I was like, wow, they put on a bang for sure.
No, they definitely did. Like I said, I wouldn't have been mad if Kevin won. Just to spice things up a little bit.
I would have loved it.
But we'll see. Seems pretty obvious Cody's gonna retain it. Till Mania now, I think.
Yep.
But again,
come through.
I want
come knocking.
I want Jeopardy in Chamber. It doesn't seem like we're gonna get much of it.
You want what?
Like Jeopardy. Like I want there to be stakes at Chamber for once. You know, like we know like when the champion defend, like I can't remember the year it was, but when the championship was defended in the Chamber or things like that, where it's like, okay,
I remember one. Or my dog Bray.
Or the champion actually loses it at the Chamber in the
Chamber.
And then they got
remember when Bray won back in like 2018 or something like that in the Chamber, won his first title. By the way, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. I don't know if you can see the Fiend picture, the Fiend little action figure.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, I wanted to see it have some stakes, but this year it doesn't need to have stakes. It doesn't need a title because John Cena is the stake. Like
I agree.
The match is for John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Cena's definitely.
And it's going to be even more interesting when he loses. Because I think he's going to have a bunch of defeats, and then he's going to win the big one somehow. And it's going to be the continuous same story of, hey, he's in this match because it's John Cena. You know, like it's his final run. You know, the time is now. Your time is up, or whatever he's been saying.
That's the thing. I want him to get 17, but I feel like not the only way, but the best way to do it is for him to win at Mania or SummerSlam. I think you can't go beyond that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
maybe
we mentioned it before.
Survivor Series too.
Personally,
but that seems like it's dragging too long.
Personally, if there's anybody that deserves to win the title and then retire it and walk off to the sunset, it's Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But I know
what I want to see. But it's like it's
too much respect. He do that.
Yeah, and if he was retiring if he was to say, oh, "Okay, I'm done after Mania," I would have loved that. You know, but it seems like too much of a long stretch of time between now and when he says he's done in December, to where it's like, all right, like, you know,
we're anticipating this is going to happen, and then all right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But hey, I hope they string us along for a good story, bro, because John Cena hasn't given me anything since like 2017. You know, of like a good, valuable story.
I don't care. You see the sprinter belt back there.
Yeah,
I'm along for the ride. So,
no, for sure. I hope that's why I hope he gives us something.
Bring that back at some point. I don't know. I just want to see that. If he wins,
if we see he go back, I want to see that.
For sure. But all right, man. That's gonna do it for today. For tonight, thank you, Trey. This was,
of course, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Fun episode. It's kind of what I was hoping for.
Exactly. You know, this is the stuff our sports fans live for, bro.
Hope you guys that tune in. You know, kind of pick your side on this, and you know, we'll have more of these debates.
Subscribe to this and let us know in the comments. Let us know. Send us a DM on Twitter or something like that, and let us know what you think, because I'm curious, man.
Let Trey know how wrong he is, how delusional he's but nah. Just again, thank you, my dog, for always.
My G, it's all love, man. I appreciate you having me.
Family right here. Love you, dog. Again, thank you all the listeners for tuning in, whether it's YouTube or whether you're listening Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. We're back. Gonna be changes as the weeks go on. But we're finally getting into the swing of things. So happy to be back. Happy to have you guys along for the ride with me. And you know, just stay tuned for a lot more coming soon. All right. All right, take
Hey,
it easy.
maybe Jay gonna drop an emergency pod with all this trade deadline news.
You already know. Some more stuff definitely gonna be coming soon. So just stay tuned. And again, gonna get back to getting live like I used to. So that way, to that point, these comments can get a lot more engaging, and you'll get live responses from us while we're doing this. So just stay tuned. And all right, catch you later.